city lights taking you nowhere. Angel, come up, baby. Look at that sky, life's begun. Nights are warm and the days are young. There's my baby lost, that's all. Once I'm begging you, save a little soul. Last night they loved you, opening doors and pulling some strings. Angel, didn't walk luck and you looked in time. Never looked back, walked tall, act fine. I'll stick with you, baby, for 1,000 years. All those who took you in these golden years. Golden years. Some of these days and it won't be long. Gonna drive back down where you once belonged. In the back of a green car, 20 foot long. Don't cry, my sweet, don't break my heart. Doing alright, you've gotta get smart. Wish upon day, I believe, oh Lord, I'll believe all the way. Run for the shadows, run for the shadows, run for the shadows in these golden years. There's my baby lost, that's all. Once I'm begging you, save a little golden years.
I seem to recognize your face, haunting, familiar, yet I can't seem to place it. Can I find a candle of thought to light your name? Lifetimes are catching up with me. All these changes taking place. I wish I'd seen the place, but no one's ever taken me. Hearts and thoughts, they fade away. Hearts and thoughts, they fade away. I swear I recognize your breath. Memories like fingerprints are slowly raising. Of course you can't see me, for I'm not my former. It's hard when you're stuck upon the shelf. I changed, I'm not changing at all. Small town predicts my fate. Perhaps that's what no one wants to see. I just wanna scream hello.
1, 2.
You are so slow.
I looked out this morning and the sun was gone. Turned on some music to start my day, and lost myself in a familiar song. I closed my eyes and I slipped away.
She loves fan shots. Actually, I met her when I was going to become a freshman in high school at Doane College track camp. She was going to be a sophomore, I was going to be a freshman. It's kind of funny, the one thing I do remember about her, she kind of had like this really tight perm haircut, and I kind of tease her about it to this day, but yeah.
I went to track camp because my sister went to Doane, and so she said, you need to go to this track camp so you can be better. And so I went, and I remember Buck, but not a lot. I just remember staying in the dorm. There was a football camp going on, so there were a lot of cute boys there. That's what I remember most.
That was really funny. So I used to live in the Neely Clearwater area, and I actually moved away 1 month before she got there.
We have so many connections. Like, he knew my friend Julie really well in college. They hung out together. He worked with my brother, same company.
And then later on, I was up there for New Year's Eve, and we were at a ugly sweater party, and I went down to the bar. They're like, "Are you married?" I'm like, no, I'm single. And like, "Oh, you need to meet Franz." And they actually tried calling her, but she was in Omaha and she wouldn't pick up. And I didn't even realize that that's who they were trying to call.
And I get this phone call from my friend Wendy Henn, who always tries to set me up with people all the time. And she's like, "I met the perfect guy for you. His name is," I don't even think she told me his name, but she's like, "He's in Neely, where are you at?" And I'm like, "I'm in Omaha."
Until probably 8 months of dating her, when I heard one of her students call her Franz, and it clicked. I'm like, Wendy Henn tried to set us up 2 years ago.
I always say that God knew when we were supposed to meet, and we just weren't ready. And then when the time was right, then we met.
Before I met her right during our busy season. So I was working a lot of hours, things like that. Winter time is more the time that I can get away and do a lot of things.
I was actually on my way to Florida for the summer to stay with my sister. And he's like, "Well, I want to see you before you go." And so the only time that I was available was on a Sunday. So I'm like, who wants to go on a date on a Sunday? And he's like, I'll come up to Neely. So he came up to Neely. When I first opened the door, his smile right away. He's got the biggest smile. And he just seemed so happy and just genuine and very kindly. And he picked me up at, I remember it was 11 o'clock because I thought that was a weird time. And we went to Norfolk and we went out to lunch at Big Red Keno. He loves to play Keno, and he won, so I took that as a good sign.
Maybe she's my lucky charm, I don't know. But we drove back to Neely.
We went back to my house and we sat on my porch and just talked.
She knows the way to my heart. I got the 2 bears out of the pack, and she handed me a koozie right out of her purse. She carried 2 koozies in her purse. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever.
And he left about 9 o'clock that night, so it was a long date. But it went so fast, I didn't even realize what time it was. It was funny, I was talking to my sister afterwards, and she's like, "Did you feed him supper?" And I was like, I didn't even think about supper. The poor guy's probably starving.
It was a really good first date, and we talked. Although I will say this, I wasn't picking up signs from her. I thought the date was going good, but after I left Neely that evening, I wasn't, I was hoping for a second date, but I wasn't, I wasn't sure what her plans were about it.
I thought he was wonderful. He was so easy to talk to, and we shared like a lot of the same interests, and it was easy. It was very easy. I was surprised. It felt like I've known him for years.
I actually sent her flowers on that Monday and thanked her for a first date.
I came home from school, and I walked in my back porch, and there was this big bouquet of flowers, and I was like, "Who are these from?" And I was kind of curious, so I read the card, and I told him, like, before he left, I'm like, "I hope I didn't scare you away." And on the card he wrote, "You didn't scare me away."
And I knew pretty early on, that this is someone that, I could see myself with. I mean, she had good values, she came from a great family, they're fun to hang around with, and, they're very sincere and very genuine people. And, I never brought a lot of people home to my family because I always kind of worried about the reaction of the family or what they would have for reaction to my family, because my family can kind of be wild and crazy at times.
Well, later that summer, when I was in Florida, we talked almost every day. And then he decided to come down and visit. And we went to Disney for a day and just had the best day ever. It was fun because I got to take him on all these different rides. I took him on a roller coaster that he was not real impressed with. We walked past this Space Mountain, and there was always like a 2-hour wait to get on Space Mountain. There was no wait. I'm like, "We're going on Space Mountain." So we go like right away, and it's this completely enclosed, dark roller coaster. And I didn't know at the time, but he doesn't like dark roller coasters. So we're going, and I'm like, "Yeah!" screaming, and then at the end you can see a picture of what And this is him. It was hilarious. But they had this big firework display, and it was so special. We just were sitting there watching the fireworks, and that was the moment I knew that he was the one. And I used to make fun of people. I'm like, that's so stupid when someone says, when you know, you just know. I never believed it. But at that moment, I was like, he's the one for me.
You know, one thing that I admire her for, she's got a lot of convictions with her religion. She was born and raised Catholic. I was Christian. I have Christian values, but I didn't have an organized religion that I was really strong of faith with. So I actually started confirmation classes and started that process before I proposed to her.
And I always wondered, like, he was never around on Monday nights. And so I was like, so then one day he told me, he's like, well, I've been taking classes to convert. And I was just, it was like the best feeling in the world. I was so proud of him, and it really meant a lot to me that he would take something that's so important to me and want to become part of that with me. So
she does a lot of things with tech, and she does a lot of things, prayer groups and stuff like that. So I knew that she was very strong in her faith, and that it was very important to her that someone be as involved in a church as she is. And so, I mean, that kind of made me, I don't want to say that she made me become a better person, but I think she probably prompted me to make some changes in my life to better myself.
He is the most genuine person I've ever met, and the most caring. Like, he makes me want to be a better person. And he's so funny. I just laugh all the time whenever I'm with him. We just laugh all the time.
I actually called her dad on the phone, and he wasn't there, so they had him call me back. That might be the most awkward thing ever to have to do, is ask a father if you can marry his daughter. I finally just got to it and I said, well, so Tony, I guess what I'm trying to say here is, would it be okay if I could have your daughter's hand in marriage? And he goes, yeah, okay. I mean, that's great, that's great. And I could just tell on the phone that, and I didn't know what was going on, but later on I found out that actually Connie, Cindy's mom, and her brother were at the table with him as he was talking to me on the phone.
A couple weeks before that, I was driving on a road going back to Neely from Dodge, and it's a really bad road, and I got a flat tire on it. So I'm like, I'm never going on this stupid road again. So when I was coming back to Dodge for Thanksgiving, I was in a hurry and I was really late, and that road is the fastest road, so I took it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just take this road.
I was really hoping to do something completely off the wall in terms of hoping that maybe their family went around the table and asked what everyone was thankful for this year, and I thought I was going to be real smooth and say, you know, I'm real thankful for meeting Cindy this year, and I'm very thankful for, you know, your family being so welcoming to me when I come up here, and I was just going to pop the question right there. Well, I could never get Cindy away from her mother that afternoon to actually ask her mom if they did this. So I'm freaking out. When am I going to do this? I got this ring here, and that's kind of my plans. And
we were going to go downtown, and I said, well, let's just walk. And Buck's like, no, we better take your Jeep, which I thought was kind of weird because literally the bar is like 4 blocks away. So I was like, okay, whatever. So we get in the Jeep.
On the way down there, I said, Cindy, do you hear that noise? She's like, what? I said, you don't hear that? I said, I think something's wrong with your tire. I said, pull over and I'll look at it. So,
and I was instantly mad. I was like, this dumb tire, that dumb road gave me another flat tire.
Got down on one knee and I was looking at her tire. I'm like, Cindy, you've got to come see this. You got to check your tire out.
Like, I was furious. And so then I walk around the back and he's on his knees looking at the tire, and he's like,
I said, you know I love you, right? And she goes, what's wrong?
And I thought he was trying to calm me down because he always calms me down. And I was like, yeah, why?
And I almost had too much fear to actually ask her to marry me. And then she saw the ring and then she started crying. And I said, would you marry me? And she's like, yes. But she gave me the look of death. And I was so scared because she was freaking out about her car.
And then we went back to my parents' house to tell my mom and my dad. And we walk in and my mom's like, what's wrong? I go, something's wrong with my tire. And my mom got mad. She's like, we're taking that tire back. And I was like, yeah, there are 3 stones in it. She's like, what? I go, yeah, you want to see them? She's like, yeah. And so then I held up my hand and showed her my ring, and she started crying, and it was cute.
There you go. One,
Yeah.
2,
3.
Did you get in here?
We had it. And we do weird things, you know, whether it's like doing a road rally or going and seeing people and having just a backyard party, or, you know, it's just the social aspect. You know, we do compliment each other a lot on that ways.
Every day is an adventure with Buck. Every day. And it's fun. Like, I never know what we're going to do. I never know what's going to happen. But it's so exciting, and it's just fun. And
the weird thing is, when you're single, you can go and do a lot of stuff, but it's so much better when you have someone to do it with. And so I guess that's one of the things I'm looking forward to, is we have the same interests, we have the same wants. Guess what? We got a companion to do it together now.
I always think that I've prayed so long for someone like Buck. And, you know, I always thought God gave up on me, almost. But I never lost faith that I was going to find someone, the perfect one for me. And God finally said, it's your time, Cindy. And
the things that I would like her to know on the wedding day is, this is just the beginning of a journey, you know, and really not even just the beginning. It's how we're going to go past here. It's going to be the journey itself is what's going to make this fun.
I like to tell him that I love him very, very much, and thank you for coming into my life and making me a better person and sharing your life with me. And I just look forward so much to the future and what journey we're going to go on. And we're just going to have so much fun. I just can't wait.
You're a falling star, you're the getaway car, you're the line in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool on an August day, and you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it coy, but it's kinda cute. Oh, when you smile at me, you know exactly what you do. Baby, don't pretend that you don't know it's true, 'cause you can see it when I look at you. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you. You make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything. You're a carousel, you're a wishing well, and you light me up when you ring my bell. You're a mystery, you're from outer space, you're every minute of my everyday. And I can't believe that I'm your man, and I get to kiss you, baby, just because I can. Whatever comes our way, I will see it through. And you know that's what our love can do. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you. You make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you. You make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything, your every song. And I sing along, 'cause you're my everything.